Meet Andrew Gibbons, the strategist behind Walgate Advisory Inc. His story started long before founding his own firm. For more than 12 years, he shaped WestJet's national government relations and external affairs. Oh, and fun fact, he's also married to Liz. Andrew earned his Bachelor of Arts honors degree in history with a minor in political science from Carleton University. He told me he understands events because he understands history. His degree taught him how to write clearly, synthesize information, and consider all interpretation. And now he's just wired to consider all perspectives. That wiring shapes how he builds strategy in his work today by thinking about how every audience might see a situation differently before making a move. Andrew didn't plan on a communications career. He originally wanted to be a lawyer, a professor, or a journalist, something that combined writing and debate. He took a job as a legislative assistant on Parliament Hill and about a year later applied to a government relations agency. What hooked him was the tangible reward, seeing real impact of his work. He said, "Once I was doing real work for real people, I got addicted to the results." That's what pulled him away from politics and into the agency world. Or as he puts it best, "I didn't find the path, maybe the path found me." Andrew's next chapter was at WestJet, where he spent over a decade rising through leadership roles, from director of government relations to vice president of external affairs. He described this period as one of the most dynamic and rewarding parts of his career. Working for one of Canada's most recognized airlines meant that many of the issues he handled made national news. He was responsible for managing complex challenges that combined reputation, regulation, and media relations, often at the highest level. His national role also allowed him to see every corner of Canada and understands the different ways people think, feel, and engage with policy issues across the country. Eventually, though, the extensive travel between Ottawa and the Calgary head office made it challenging to balance work and family. After more than a decade in aviation and 20 years of combined political, agency, and corporate experience, Andrew decided it was time for a new chapter. In 2025, he founded Walgate Advisory Inc, where he now works independently as a public affairs consultant, helping organizations navigate government relations, stakeholder engagement, and strategic communication at an executive level. When I asked what government relations really is, Andrew said that government relations is marketing to a narrow audience. He said that the field's changed a lot. It used to be like hiring a lawyer, gather facts, present them, and wait. Now it's about shaping perception because politicians act on what people think, not just what they know. So he starts every project by mapping out the field, finding supporters, opponents, and opportunities, and then looks for patterns. As he says, Canada's small and not much new really happens here. From there, he builds strategy that connects facts with public mood through polling, partnerships, and media storytelling. Andrew works at the executive level, advising senior leaders across communications, legal, and operations. His job is to turn business goals into public and political results. At WestJet, that meant managing issues that made national headlines, aligning messaging between government regulators and customers. He said modern communicators need to understand both sides. If you want to be in PR, you better understand GR. And if you're in GR, you better understand PR. That balance, he said, is what makes his work so effective. When I asked what shaped his approach the most, Andrew said it was COVID-19. The airline industry has shut down overnight, and WestJet had to make tough choices with public opinion split right down the middle. He joked, "If you don't want this kind of pressure, go work for Stats Canada," and then added with a laugh, "Pressure makes diamonds." That's his motto: calm under pressure, strategic under fire, and always grounded in perspective. From Andrew, I took 3 lessons I'll carry into my own PR career. 1. Map before you move. Understand the landscape first. 2. Pair facts with perception. Data matters, but emotion drives decisions. 3. Look for the pattern, because history might not repeat itself, but it often echoes. So, to sum it up, Andrew Gibbons is a strategist who uses history to understand the present, builds influence through perspective, and proves that communication and policy are two sides of the same coin. And if there's one thing I learned from both Gibbons this semester, it's that pressure really does make diamonds.